Right, welcome back to another video, guys. Today I'm going to be propagating another propagation video. Going to be propagating some of my peperomias because I got a new cultivar the other day from Peperomias, which you would have seen in my video, and I want to propagate that to get more. And I've tried propagating. I propagated here this peperomia here. I'm not quite sure of the cultivar name of this one, but I propagated that one. I took 4 leaf cuttings and all 4 of them have taken. I'll show you in a second the cuttings. Well, I can show you them here now, but I'll do a better close-up in a second. You can see they've just started growing some new leaves. I'll show you better. And I'm going to be, this cultivar as well, I'm not sure, I did have the pot and it had the name on it, but I can't find where the pot's gone, but that one there. I'm going to be taking about, I'm going to try to take about 8 leaf cuttings off that in hopes that we get 100% success rate, same as we did last time, because the leaves on that are just so sweet and I love that it stays quite small. I know when these flower they do grow up quite tall, but I just think it probably won't flower for a while anyway. But yeah, I definitely want some more of those. And this got knocked off the table the other day and luckily didn't get damaged, but I'm going to try and get more of these so that if it does get knocked off the table again, I have more. Yeah, so I'm going to turn the camera around and show you what I'm doing here, and I'll see you in a second. Right, so this is the peperomia that I took the cuttings of. I must have taken this about 4.5 weeks ago, maybe 5 weeks, and you can see here a little tiny leaf has come up down there, and there we are. You can see the leaves on that one coming up, and every single one has leaves coming up. It's just really hard to get them with this angle of the lighting, but yeah, you can see that they're all growing. This one's been the slowest, but it was just like they took such a long time to start rooting, and then once they rooted they just have started to shoot up. So yeah, what I'm going to be using as per usual is just my propagation knife and this plate to cut on, and it looks so blindingly bright. Let me move this up, let's see if we can get a bit of a better angle. Right, so I'm going to be taking just some of the biggest leaves because they'll have like the biggest store of water and nutrients in the leaves. So I've said I'm going to take 8, so let's start. It's going to look a little bit better after this, but I don't mind too much because it will grow. And when cutting, I'm going to try and cut right down as far as I can, just so that there's none of the stem left on there to just rot away. So I'm going to select 8 and then I'm going to show you how I'm going to cut them. And I'm only doing one method of leaf cutting today, but I'm sure there are other methods. Like I'm going to cut the stalk off, I'm not leaving the stalk on. So I'll show you my way of doing it, and then I'm sure if there are any other ways, you'd be able to find them online. So I could always do a test to see what propagation methods work best, but like I said, just for today, because I know this method works well, that's what I'm going to stick with, and that's what I'd recommend for now. Yeah, so I'm just going to start cutting all these, and I guess I can start showing you how I'm going to cut them. And the media that I'm going to be putting them into is just regular multi-purpose compost. Oh, there's a leaf that fell off when the plant fell, but it's a bit too flimsy because it's been there for a couple of days, so I'm not going to use that one. This is just perlite mixed with regular multi-purpose compost. I did add quite a lot of perlite just so the drainage is perfect. This container doesn't have holes in the bottom, but I'm quite attentive to my plants in my bedroom, so it's not going to dry out, and I know I'm not going to overwater it. So but if you are prone to overwatering, then use something that has drainage holes, just as a precaution. But yeah, that's what I'm going to be using. So I'll show you how I'm going to cut the leaves. Let's move in a little closer. Right, so with these I'm literally just going to be cutting. I would cut across the widest part because then you'll get the most like veins included and the most new growing points, but because the leaves are quite short and small, I'm going to cut it a lot lower just so that you get the more water storage in the leaf. So just cut straight through like that, and then that's going to go about halfway into the potting mix. So just make sure it's a nice clean cut. Don't use a blunt knife because you'll end up like ripping the cells rather than cutting through them. So this is as simple as it is. Like I said, it will take about 2 weeks to start rooting, and then after it started rooting, you'll be able to tell, because if you can give it a little tug and see, like, and that's how you can tell that it's rooted. But I probably wouldn't recommend doing that just in case you damage anything that has grown. Right, so that'll do for now, and then I'll grab the potting mix and then we'll just pop those in. Right, and then it's just as easy as digging a little like flat trench, burying that. Just make sure it's in contact with the soil, so I'm pushing down on it. And I've pre-watered this, but if I hadn't pre-watered it, I would spray water over the top just so it ensures like the contact with the soil. But because I've already pre-watered it, I'm not going to be doing that. There we are. This is like the first time I've used perlite as well, so I'll let you guys know how it goes. I've never used it before because I don't like the look of it, but I guess it doesn't matter too much when it's just propagation. There we are. I'm going to do 2 rows of 4. Right, there we go. The only thing I can think that may cause a problem with this perlite is that it creates a lot of air spaces in the soil, which could mean that the base of the leaf isn't in contact with, like directly in contact with the soil, but like we'll find out. Yeah, so there we are. And then I'm just going to leave them in a bright light but not direct sunlight, because direct sunlight will just dry them out a bit too quick. So we want them to stay nice and damp. Don't let the soil dry out at all. And then in a couple of weeks you should, just like this, you should get little guys coming up like this. And just similar to the begonias, you should get multiple plants from one leaf. So like I said, each large vein will grow a new plant. So yeah, in a couple of weeks I will be dividing these out of this container and planting them into their own pots. So that'll be an upcoming video. But yeah, that is as simple as it is. So I'll just go ahead and finish this, and then I'll show you the finished product. Right, so that is as easy as it was. I've got my little 8 cuttings lined up there. Look how sweet they look. Looks like a little row of cinema seats. Don't forget to put the price, the date in there as well. One thing I did forget to mention, when you're cutting them, get them into the compost, the wet compost, as quick as you can, only because if the edges where you've cut start to dry out, they're just going to have such a lot of a lower chance. So get them in there as quick as you can. And you could put them in, if you've got a propagator system, obviously put them in there. You could cover it with cling film if you're not going to be keeping on top of watering, but I'm not going to do that because I know that I'm going to keep on top of it, and I like to stare at my plants when they're growing. So there's that. I'll show you what the poor peperomia looks like now. He's had a bit of a haircut. He looks a little bit, he looks even smaller for the pot than he already did, but there's a lot of leaves growing up in the centre there. If it'll focus, there's a lot growing up in there, so I have no doubt that will grow back just fine. Yeah, not such an exciting container anymore, but I'm confident that they're all going to work. So, and if a couple fail, then at least I've still got 6. So yeah, that is as easy as it is, and I'll keep you updated on when they start to grow, and I'll probably do a video of when I'm transferring them to containers as well. And with the other peperomias, I need to learn the names of these peperomias, but once these peperomias get a little bit bigger, you can't really see them anymore, but once they start to grow a little bit bigger, once they've got about 4 or 5 leaves each, they'll be going into separate containers as well. Oh, one other thing I want to show as well. My little euphorbia that I planted in that container that I bought when I went to Summer Hill, I planted it in this container, which I'm pretty sure I showed anyway, but I added some nice pebbles around the top. I was inspired by one of my viewers and now friend, and I just think that looks really sweet. It really makes that look nice. And I just got those stones from my back garden, so resourceful. So that's it for today. I'll probably do another video maybe today or tomorrow as well, so you can look forward to that if you do look forward to watching this sort of stuff. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.